breakup.
Show about hard
No,
revelations.
if that goes in, I will punch you.
Okay. All right.
I will break your nose repeatedly without any lasting damage, apparently. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about you. Let's be honest here.
I'm worried about me worrying about you worrying about me.
Listen, Mashugana.
That's an insult. I actually know what that means.
Oh man, we're not funny. I don't know why we keep doing this.
Not funny, just annoying.
Just.
Well, we're doing it for your friend, didn't we establish that?
Yeah. We want to dedicate this episode to Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, if you're out here and a lot of your coworkers are looking really confused right now, thinking about, is this Tom? Is this our Tom he's talking about? Yes, it is. Tom, this podcast, this episode is dedicated to you for donating $20 to The Breakup.
I didn't get any of that money.
He didn't give us the money. This is a guilt trip, Sam.
Oh. I don't even know this person.
Yeah. He'll give us the money. Don't worry.
Well, this bit's dying. Welcome to The Breakup, the podcast about destroying things you love by giving away. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing terribly. How are you? Well, I think we're both really...
We're pretty mad.
We had a rough holiday season.
Yeah.
We didn't do too good.
Self-inflicted, we will admit. No.
Are you gonna blame us for this?
I will, because it was your suggestion, and then the other thing that I did was my suggestion to myself, which I apparently followed through with. But more on that later. That's a little teaser for later. This week we're
reviewing things that were given to us,
yes,
not apropos of what other people said.
Not apropos of nothing. I think it is your turn first. Yes.
Yes, it is this time.
Yeah.
You say that every time for the last 3 or 4 times.
It's not true. I actually checked. We're still on track.
Well, thank God for that. Sam, what did you make me watch?
I made you watch the Rian Johnson film, appropriately for the release of The Last Jedi.
I was going to say,
Rick.
This is Rian Johnson's.
I believe it's his first movie.
Yeah.
Or at least his first big movie.
He hasn't made many movies.
He's done Brick, Looper, and there's a third one that I always forget. I think it's like The Brothers something.
Well, now he has a 4th movie, and that 4th movie is The Last Jedi. That's a pretty big movie to have.
It's a pretty good career move, I would say.
I would
pretty
think,
lateral.
I think it's quite surprising that he got it. I guess Disney executives saw Looper, and they were like, hey, you know what this needs? More jokes.
More jokes and Jedi.
More funny
jokes and Jedi.
Brick is a very unfunny movie featuring what I can only imagine Sam's high school idol proceeding to
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Beat up.
Say his name.
I don't know his name.
Keep going.
Beat up all the high school bad people and then get beaten up himself by the high school dropout bad dudes as a whirlwind conspiracy featuring phrases such as Brick, the Pin, and Sad Frisco bring him to a hard-broiled true crimes detective story.
They broil him in the oven.
They hard broil him.
They hard broil him. It's a hard broil.
They boil him like an egg and then they put him in the broiler.
Brick and you broil it.
Well, it's funny you mention that because bricks feature heavily in this movie, and by heavily I mean very rarely. Almost never, in fact. It's almost.
I forgot you have a distaste for MacGuffins.
Well, it's not quite a MacGuffin.
It doesn't really matter.
A MacGuffin matters.
Okay, Can you summarize the movie for just briefly for real?
I thought I was summarizing the movie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Jason Gordon is a sad, bit lonely, very, very gifted high school boy of about 15 or so.
I think it's a little older than that.
Really?
Yeah.
16,
Whatever.
17. Who his ex-girlfriend calls him up on a payphone, because this was filmed when payphones still existed. And she brings him into this mystery involving what amounts to, like, drug selling.
A brick of cocaine.
And what a brick of, I think it's like heroin or dope.
Is it heroin? I thought it was cocaine.
Yeah, it is a powdered something.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets murdered.
Yes.
That opens with that, so that's not a spoiler.
No, that's not a spoiler.
So he decides, I'm going to solve this murder. I'm just going to live it.
That is a spot on Joseph Gordon-Levitt impression.
Well, particularly for this movie where he growls and grumbles through most of it. Sam.
Yes.
The thing is, I don't want to spoil this particularly, even though this is a very spoilery podcast.
We've spoiled before and we'll spoil again, so you know.
We will, but I'm saying right now, listener, go watch Brick.
Oh.
Just go watch it before we talk about this.
Interesting. That was a twist.
We can wait. All right, you're back.
You're back.
That's great. I'm happy you could be here to join us again. Now,
hey.
Sam, why do you like this piece of shit?
I'll actually go on record as saying this is probably one of my favorite. Like, if I had a top 10 and I could actually populate it, this would be in it. Because I would almost describe it as a perfect movie, and maybe some people will disagree with me.
A perfect movie.
I think it's a perfect film.
Wow. Okay.
I think the characters are incredibly well thought out. I think the style. Okay, the sort of brief thing Jacob kind of glossed over. It's a high school film noir, and they all talk like they're in 1940s mode.
It's more like
self-consciously
weirdly polite. Well, not weirdly polite, but somewhat more polite than high school students actually are. I wouldn't say like they're talking like they're in the 1940s.
I would say they are. I think it's really it's very, very stylized. Anyway, I love the mystery. I love the film. Like, the filming is beautiful. The dialogue is amazing. The soundtrack is really amazing. Like, just every element works for me. And it doesn't, like, as constant listeners of this podcast will know, I'm a big fan of the film noir genre. So I like something that really takes that and kind of cracks it open. And I really like Rian Johnson, honestly.
Well, it's weird because I went into this expecting more levity.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, my only Rian Johnson film has been The Last Jedi.
Yeah, you haven't seen Looper.
This is number 2. I wanted to watch Looper, but it just never happened.
It's on. Quick digression. I was rewatching it last night. It's pretty good. It's got some problems.
It's not what you would call a perfect movie.
No. Now that sounds, and I am aware how pretentious that fucking sounds. So please leave your comments at the door.
Leave your comments below.
Yes.
I just, that's interesting that we would come so quickly to this, this is the creme de la creme.
This is the creme de la creme.
This is Euphoria.
Admittedly, I kind of went into this one, as I do many times, thinking you probably wouldn't really like it, but I was sort of interested in if there was anything of The Last Jedi that you might see in it, or vice versa.
It's funny, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I saw what, as I probably was supposed to, Chinatown and the film noir things we've discussed. Yeah. But here's the great twist of the story, Sam, where I was telling you this was probably going to be not our best episode. Yeah. I really liked this movie. I thought this was good. This is a good movie.
Why is that the twist? Why are we such... We're such cynical pricks that I liked it, Sam.
I liked the
I really liked it.
In fact, this is a 2 thumbs up.
Oh my god, it finally happened.
This is your number 2. I'm really happy for you.
This is just pure joy right now. It's just the least funny thing you can possibly think of.
Yeah, like
I was so sure you wouldn't really like it.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Give me the
this is the part that's going to make you cry, I think.
Okay. I've broken your heart before, and you'll break mine.
The thing that this reminded me of almost as much as Chinatown.
Yeah.
Was Disney's Fillmore, which you were probably too old to watch. It was a
not familiar at all
children's cartoon featuring in all of America, like, you know how Disney cartoons are.
Yeah.
There is nowhere you can place this.
Okay.
Middle school,
Sure.
which is very large for its county.
Yeah.
And it follows the lives of two hall monitors who behave and act eerily like police, not like, you know, hall monitors.
Yeah.
And it is lampooning really hard, like, the buddy cop dynamic.
The buddy cop genre, yeah.
The buddy cop genre of Cornelius Fillmore and Ingrid III. So actually, compared to most buddy cops, it was very progressive, where it was a black man and a
that's nice.
female.
Say what you will
duo.
about Disney, they occasionally get that non-tokenistic representation.
Actually,
right.
all of them, like even the police commissioner, quote unquote, was Hispanic.
Oh, sorry. Really quick digression. You know who? I don't know if this will mean anything to you, but you know who plays the vice principal in Brick? The guy who played Shaft. Whose name is escaping me right now.
No, his name is Shaft.
His name is Shaft.
Shaft is the vice principal in Brick. So, since this has been a long digression,
it reminded you of this show.
What I think I like about this and about certain genres of film is that when you change the perspective or the scale, it becomes better. There's a particular sort of, for example, there are these videos that discuss how the Lego Movie and Ant-Man are really good because they do the superhero Marvel-esque massive cartoonish violence, but on a tiny microscopic scale, and that makes it infinitely funnier. Like that.
No, this is a good episode because I'm learning about your tastes,
and this isn't the same thing.
No, not quite. No.
But unlike a lot of film noir broiling, they're uncovering this massive conspiracy that would shake up the city they're living in.
Yeah. But it's high school.
But it's ultimately it's high school. Now, like, the stakes are really high for high school.
Yeah.
Like
murder and drugs. So.
Like, a lot of people die in this film. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, you remember that, oh man, they're all going to have to meet up in 5th period chemistry after this. And it's going to be really awkward.
Well, I mean, that scene he has with the vice principal really does, like, lampshade the whole movie. Like, he's having this ridiculous hard-boiled conversation with Shaft.
I sold my best friend out to you, to the bulls, to the fez, to you. And you're not going to get me in for this again. Dude, you're like 16. What the fuck do you want from me? I'm Shaft.
Lunch means lunch is many things.
The also more problematic thing about why I like this movie is that it confirms my very dark and sad belief that 65% of high school girls are sociopaths. Because for a lot of the things I show you, there are some comments to be made about two white boys discussing feminism.
No, absolutely.
But in this movie, ooh, boy, Sam, buddy. I mean, the motives of the girls in this movie, and there is only 3 girls in this entire high school.
And one you never really see.
It's, boy, there's a lot going on with that, with one basically being a sociopath, and the other as the femme fatale. She, like, shows some remorse, maybe. But the theater girl's just fucking nuts.
She's just a mean person.
She's just the main character, Lily's sister. You caused the death of like 2 people. And she's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that like he like?
But it's not really. Well, it's not her fault, as it turns out.
No, it's not. But if someone came to me and said, Jacob Waskow, you have indirectly caused the murder of 2 people, I would not just sort of smirk it off and be like, yeah, says who, motherfucker. I'd be like, hey, that's pretty serious. Explain yourself for a sec. I might just be like, whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
She's just straight up, whatever. No. They weren't important people. They weren't pretty. There's also the bit at the end where femme fatale...
The famous snub,
Laura... the snub is true of I'm tempted to say almost all film noir.
The first film noir has the most famous snub of all, and this one sort of is an homage to that.
Yeah. And then she drops the line, being like, the baby was probably yours.
Yep.
Which is weird, because I thought, given how distant the two had sort of become, 3 months is a hell of a... that's high school short.
Mm-hmm.
That's high school short to become I'm giving up on the world, bitter old fuck that child had become.
Yeah.
Very high school. Brings it back.
It brings it back. I'm so fascinated that this is I feel like with Tickled it was almost cheating, because Tickled is just like a movie no one could dislike except for Armor and White. But
well, if Armor and White dislikes it, that means it's good.
Yeah, that means it's good. So I'm actually flabbergasted that this is the one that you really
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. It's Tickled good.
Crazy. Okay.
I don't think I am as in love with it as you are.
Well,
I would not say.
But I make sure to watch this movie once a year. Like, that's how much I like it.
Really? Man. It could be the reverse of A Better Podcast and just be like, we watch a good movie every year for Christmas.
So, 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Absolutely.
Cool.
Really
Awesome.
good. Sam, I actually legitimately forgot what I made you watch.
So I can't ask the question. You made me watch Dawg Fight.
Yeah. Dawg Fight.
So Dawg Fight is a Netflix documentary about backyard fighting in Florida.
Because of course it's Florida.
Yes. Although the way Jacob sold it to me before, I thought it was going to be a bunch of white boys wailing on each other. But actually, it is about African-American young men staying out of, crime and things.
And systemic racism and poverty.
It's
actually really sad.
It is. I can't really summarize it, because it doesn't... Not until the latter quarter does it really have a plot.
It meanders.
The movie is mostly about a guy named Dada 5000.
Dada 5000.
Who...
Respect.
Yep. Who is... he had some trouble when he was a kid, and eventually he became, he got into MMA fighting.
Yeah.
And he started running these, backyard fighting rings where, you would come in and the people put down money for it, and,
He was never in the professional circuit.
No, he wasn't.
Except until the last quarter of this film.
He gets scouted, and, spoilers, he goes into an MMA fight and wins, and it's kind of big triumphant thing. A lot of people die not of being punched a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's Florida, systemic racism, etc.
A lot of people suffer concussions.
Yes.
A lot of people, in fact.
I don't have a lot to say about the plot, because it's kind of an experience kind of movie. You let it wash over you. I liked it.
Yeah.
I can't... Yeah. It's really hard to describe, because it's one of those movies that's hard... This isn't a critique podcast, as I keep trying to maintain, but...
Sam, let's be honest here. You critique most of the time.
I do, absolutely. But I try to put it in the context of what aligns with my taste, as opposed to trying to present some sort of objective idea about what's good and what's bad.
For the podcast viewers at home, Jacob Waskow was rolling his eyes.
Yes, he is. And I'm aware of how pretentious that sounds. So yeah, I liked it, but I have a difficult time telling you why I liked it, and I didn't super like it, but it was interesting.
This is interesting, because we've had the exact same feeling and experience about this movie.
Yeah.
I don't love Dawg Fight.
Yeah. It's not seminal or anything.
But the thing I think I like about Dawg Fight is that it's reminiscent of gonzo journalism.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's very, very in your face.
It's very...
and the characters are interesting and
it's
weird.
It's exposing a part of Florida life, but life in general, that some people just have no connection to and don't see.
Yeah.
And being able to sort of see the very real stakes and tension involved in... there's this arc sort of in that last quarter where there's that plot of Dada 5000 has to choose between, do I actually start a career or do I keep this backyard fighting?
And that's actually kind of, that conflict for him kind of comes up, because this, I guess he's like a fighting commissioner, basically comes out and says, you can't fight if you keep running these rings.
Because what you're doing is illegal.
Yeah, it's effectively illegal, and we can't be associated with that. Like mixed martial arts or whatever. What's the organization? UFC cannot be involved with this, cannot be associated with this.
Yeah.
So, and you don't really see quite what he chooses to do. Jacob actually had a bit of an epilogue about this movie for me.
The interesting thing is that, and I think what kind of actually makes it a little better for the sad reasons, is that this story winds up as a tragedy after the end of Dawg Fight, where the big ending reveal is Dada 5000 challenging Kimbo Slice, famous for having his last name be Slice and nothing else. And eventually, after the course of this documentary, Dada 5000 and Kimbo Slice have their fight, and Slice wins.
But it turns out...
And it turns out Kimbo Slice was on steroids at the time, and interestingly enough, the UFC annuls fights.
Yeah, they don't award it to the...
they don't award it to the loser in case of drugging. It seems that in certain cases they just annul. But that was the end of Dada 5000's professional career.
That's really sad.
As far as I could be way wrong about this, but as far as I could figure out...
If you're out there, Dada 5000, give us a call.
We would happily fly you out. We can't afford to fly you out.
Can't afford, but we would try.
We would try to have you be here.
The other interesting subplot of this movie is there's this guy... Oh, what is his name? He's the really cocky guy.
I don't remember his name.
There's one fighter who, like, he has this kind of, like, he thinks he's a rock star kind of feel to him, and he gets beaten both times. And every time he appeared on camera, I was like, oh, you.
You.
And then it turns out that he got killed in the most sad way possible.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
he gets tasered by the cops, basically, and just for no reason. They just murder him.
As cops do in Florida, apparently. That's a common theme between our two episodes, as a sort of spoiler. How horrible cops are, either through their ignorance and absence,
through their inaction, or through their action,
or through their just rampant racism.
Yeah.
They're no heroes.
No more heroes anymore.
No. We can't talk about things we both mutually like on this podcast. That's not true. That's not fair. That's not honest. We hate each other. Remember this.
It is called the breakup.
It is called the breakup.
So yeah, I have kind of to say I am ambivalent about it that seems harsh, but I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I'm not I wasn't thrilled by it.
You wouldn't be like, oh man, everyone's going to.
But I like that slice of life thing. Like, I totally agree with that, which is why I really do need to make you watch an Errol Morris documentary, which is very much in that line.
Featuring Rami Malek.
Yeah, yeah. I really like the bits where I don't have it's like the Greek...
I'm sorry, as an aside, I just thought of...
Sure.
Like, a Morgan Freeman-esque documentary, but narrated by Rami Malek. In a sad, like, Mr. Robot...
Yeah, in Mr. Robot style.
and the most depressing thing about this...
penguins don't actually mate for life. Often they'll kind of cheat on each other sometimes.
That's about flaws in the penguins' programming. It's all about finding...
I would watch the shit out of this
movie. I would pay for that. I would just give Rami Malek, here's $100, make this happen.
So anyway, the bit I like is sort of the Greek chorus moments with their archetype is people as like the church ladies. They're talking about the fights and they're commenting on the fighters, and those are the moments that are really interesting.
Yeah.
Like the fighting, I think the movie would probably say the fighting is not the most important part of the movie.
Yeah.
Although it is filmed really well and interesting, and it's hard to watch sometimes. They wail on each other.
That's the thing, is that this is backyard fighting.
Backyard bare knuckle boxing.
$200. Or I think it's like $200 for the winner.
Yeah.
Which, as they explain, is a fair bit of money if you can't get a job.
Yeah. That's the really fascinating thing. So I'll say this for this one. This is probably the thing you've recommended to me that was the most different from what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Because again, Florida, backyard fighting, I thought it was going to be the Kid Rock show.
You thought I was just going to give you a Jackass documentary.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of what I thought you were aiming for, which is I was pleasantly surprised. And I know Kid Rock is not from Florida.
Kid Rock is an honorary.
He's an honorary
citizen
Floridian.
of Florida. Kid Rock is just okay.
We apologize to all of our Floridian
I
listeners.
don't speak for me.
We as I was using the royal.
They are the second worst state.
What's the worst state?
Arizona.
Oh,
with Alaska being the third.
Care to elaborate on when Alaska's the worst?
No.
Cool. Let that stand. So yeah, thumbs up. I give it a 1 thumb, which is not to say that it's not a 2-star movie. A 2-thumb movie. It's just for Sam. It's a 1 thumb movie.
Your mileage may vary.
Indeed, it might.
How do we make these movies better?
How do we make these movies better? Well, it's really hard. Well, how do we make them worse? I think is if we like them.
Oh, that's true. I think for Brick, it should be animated.
Oh.
It should be an animated film. Brain should have more of a role instead of being basically the main character's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's whipping boy.
Yeah.
And he should wear like a black wig and wear like a black dress. You know what? I'm describing Fillmore. And they're hall monitors.
And it would be, you consider that a lesser form of art than Brick?
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. If Disney was going to sue us, now is the time.
You know what I can say, and this is a semi-serious point, is I think this Dawg Fight would have been worse if it was like, it's not filmed exploitively. It's not like, oh, look at these black guys wailing on each other. Isn't that like... There's a lot of heart to it.
There's a lot of human element to this.
Yeah, no, it smartly doesn't focus on the fighting as the most important part.
But it could have.
It definitely could
have. That is
because that's what I was sort of thinking. Well, not quite that you had sent me like the equivalent of an exploitation film, but I was like, okay, what is the viewpoint of this filmmaker?
Let's be honest here, Sam. With my previous recommendations to you, you probably thought I sent an exploitation film to you.
I just didn't know what to think. Well, especially because it turned out to not be white boys wailing on each other, which is again, pleasant surprise.
You were really happy about that.
So what's our common theme?
You can't spell cops with a K.
No, you can't.
Crime with a K.
Crime with a K. Curse you, Chris. Curse you wherever you are. I'm blanking on K words. Okay, I need some K words.
Jesus Christ! Why did we take K?
Because this is what I wanted. I wanted us to think about it.
God damn it! I don't want to think. I do this podcast not to think.
There's no thinking involved in this podcast.
To avoid work.
How about kumquat? You like kumquat?
No,
hang on. These are some weird K words. Are these all 7-letter?
Kung fu.
I've got it. It's a Scrabble dictionary. Kung fu. Give me kung fu.
There's a lot of fighting in both of these movies, and it's both
there
hand
are.
to hand.
And kung fu is about like mastering your body, your physical. You know.
Move like water.
Sting like a bee. He just tried to throw something at me. I kind of like kung fu. Okay, give me kung fu for Brick.
Okay. So you know how Brick is basically Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
The movie?
He totally based it on Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, and the main character is basically Spike.
Yeah.
Spike uses Kung Fu.
That's good enough for me, Kung Fu.
Kung Fu, everybody!
Woo!
Yeah.
All right. Jacob, what are you making me watch next time?
I'm not making you watch anything, Sam. I am making you play...
Oh my god, another video game.
Yep. Another long video game, Sam.
Long video game.
You are going to be playing Valhalla, a post-cyberpunk story.
Oh, okay. What kind of game is it?
It toddles the line between visual novel and beer serving simulator. So you will be mixing drinks for people and listening to their problems.
Mixing drinks in the dystopic future.
Yes.
I'm actually intrigued by this one.
I figured you would.
I actually am kind of excited for this one. As for you, Jacob, and this will relate to something we're going to talk about kind of after we get through this.
No, we don't talk about it. It comes up as a surprise.
Okay, well, there's a surprise for you, audience. We won't go into that. You will be watching a movie, again, because I can't think of anything better, but it's very appropriate this time. You will be watching a movie called Cast a Deadly Spell, which is very Shadowrun-like and very blank-like.
Very blank.
Very blank.
Very blank.
So yeah, it's a 1990-ish movie starring forgotten his name.
Wow, good job, 100%.
100%. Final thoughts.
Okay, why the fuck do people not like The Last Jedi?
I don't fucking know.
Why do people like Bright?
No, can't give it away.
No, we can't at the end.
No. Okay.
We can't at this, and that's it.
We're gonna talk about what we're gonna do.
No.
Why don't people like The Last Jedi?
I think people just have bad taste now.
Coming from that show, that's pretty rich. And that's your final thought.
Yeah.
Thanks to Irritating Rainbow theme song. See you later.